Hello and welcome back to the Weird and Proud podcast. It's Sam Ram and James.
James.
You just can't do it normal, Kenya. Kenya. Do you know where Kenya is? It's a place in Africa. Hello everyone. Welcome back. We are what time is it? Where are we? What's happening? Where am I? Back from Spain and feeling the jet lag, James.
Absolutely.
We got back a very late Friday, and that's the thing about Europe is trying to readjust to the time, and the times are hard. The time is not on my side. Time is not on my side.
It's a beautiful song.
I know. I just wrote that.
It's beautiful.
It should be a song. We've got a great show for you, though. It's going to be unhinged per usual, but we got a great show. We have some absolutely unhinged voicemails. I was cracking up. So you guys you're gonna die. They're pretty funny. And we also have a little catch up from our time in Spain, in España. If you didn't know, if you hadn't heard the news, we went to Spain. Did you guys know that? Did you know, James?
I didn't even realize that.
You didn't. So we got back. We were there for 8 days, and I know I was like telling people it was 10. Like apparently, I literally like can't count, and I didn't. I honestly like forgot what day we were coming home. But we got home from Spain, and it was a lovely trip, right, James?
Loved it. Amazing.
James he has so much to say. He has so many words. And I got a bunch of questions about Spain, and I figured we'd give you guys a little recap on what we liked about Spain, what we didn't like, what we were doing over there, what we had going on. And then of course we have the voicemails. So get ready for the Unhinged España Weird and Proud episode. James, how the hell are you?
I'm good.
How are you? Are you feeling the jet lag?
Yeah. I slept a lot though.
Yeah. It's like you try to overcompensate because I was so worried that I was going to get sick, and like I literally just can't get sick right now. A lot of coming up. We have shows coming up, more traveling coming up, and I slept a lot on Saturday, and yeah, then I ended up screwing myself. I could not sleep last night, and then I was up at like 4 a.m. and then I couldn't fall back asleep, and I'm like hoping I can get back on track, but it definitely like takes a couple days. And I think that's what, it's like I would love to go to Spain as much as possible. Like now that my mom lives there, it's like, yeah, we do have a free place to stay, but it is like a lot of work to get there.
It was. I had to follow you and like just not think and just
the man of so many words. So here we have some questions. I had a bunch of people send in some questions for Spain, and we're gonna get all of James' thoughts, and he's got a lot. So hold on to your pantyhose.
Many thoughts.
So basically my mom, like a lot of people were like, where did you go exactly? And we went to, technically we were in like the Alicante area. Most people have heard of Alicante if you've like been to Spain. And my mom now lives in a town called Altea, and it's like half an hour from Alicante. Alicante is like the big kind of city near where she lives. And she basically she's in real estate, or she was in real estate in Maine, and you can kind of have the luxury of kind of like slowly retiring. She's still like kind of doing some, little bit of stuff here and there, but about like a year ago, her and my aunt went on like this little bit of a backpacking through Europe, or kind of just like exploring. They did like a bunch of different European countries, and they went to this town called Altea, and they kind of like went up the coast of Spain, the eastern side of Spain. And my mom just like fell in love with Altea, and it's small. Like it's not a big town, especially in like the winter months. It is like a little, like it's quiet.
That's what she was saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because it's not as warm as you think it's going to be, but it's
Yeah,
still nice comparative to
and it's a
here.
vacation, it's kind of like a vacation spot. It kind of reminds me of like the Cape Cod, like it's a lot of people purchase homes to go there in the summer, and like July versus January is just like a different world. But she fell in love with this town, and she literally, I mean, it was one of those things where my aunt introduced her to a friend that did real estate in Spain. She was like, "Well, I just so happen to have this condo that I haven't put on the market yet, and it's gorgeous." And my mom went to see it, and she just fell in love with it. And literally, the real estate in Spain, this was a 2 bedroom, 2 bath. I mean, it was, it's not ginormous, but it's like perfect size for just her. She's single. And she literally paid like 150,000 euros, which is insane. Like, you could never, I mean, if you saw my Instagram, and I had posted a lot and had a bunch of stories about it, her it looks like you're in like a hotel, like a resort. It's like, obviously the condo itself has like a pool and all the amenities, but she's literally on the coast. It's like on a cliff, so she has this insane view. There's a private, well, it's not private. There's still people can come to it, but it's just like a super, like, it feels like it's almost like this little private beach, especially when we were there in May. Like, the summer rush hadn't come yet. And it was, oh shit, it was gorgeous. And she just like literally bought it. And she had been looking for somewhere to like retire, and she wanted to do somewhere in Europe, but it literally was like kind of one of those things where she kind of did it on a whim and like trusted her gut, which is something that my mom is very like one of those people who follows the rules and is like by the guidebook. So it was, I was like, damn, okay, mom, like, do your thing. And so she's like, it takes a while to get a visa and like officially move to Europe. So she's been kind of going back and forth, but it's been like, yeah, now like a year of trying to get her visa. And she's like almost there, to the point where now she can move over. But it's a lot of like legal stuff. Like, a lot of people are also asking, like, how do you just move to Spain? And obviously she's in a place where she's not looking for work. She's not working over there. So it's not like, there are certain things you have to get like a work visa. You have to like prove that you have an occupation over there. So it is a little bit challenging. She had to obviously like buy property. She has to pay taxes and like pay a certain amount of money towards the government to officially have like a dual citizenship there. But she's doing it. And I'm very proud of her. It is like, I was like, okay, she's doing the damn thing. She's on her little eat, pray, love era. And one, obviously the big question is like, why did she pick there? Obviously it was like a spare of the moment, but like, why does she love it so much? And James, what were your favorite things about Altea in Spain in general, where we
The
went?
the basics of why I think people would live there is it is just so relaxing
Yeah.
and it's so peaceful.
Yeah. You sound like you're gonna cry.
I might.
You're like, sound like you're on the verge of
It
tears.
was. I mean, it was. I love the experience.
Are you gonna
Spain.
cry?
The
It
siesta
changed you?
lifestyle.
Yeah.
Got to adopt that.
But it that I was gonna, I have like a list of my things of like what we loved, but also like kind of hated and talked about, because of course, some people like your favorite things, but also like, what did you not like? So, and I would say one of my least favorite things, it is different, like coming from America, where you are so much like everything is go, go, go constantly. And I think it's just like America versus Europe, especially like a small town in Europe, because a lot of people, when I was saying like, yeah, people take, like a lot of these businesses, literally they close from like 2 to 6 p.m. in the afternoon. Like, they basically take the entire afternoon off. And some people are like, well, that's not true. Like, I was in Barcelona and they're open. And like, yeah, in the bigger cities and like a big, like maybe grocery store chain might stay open. But for most of like and we were in, again, like this smaller town, so it was like a lot of small business. There wasn't really like I didn't see like any chains in this town. Did you?
I don't know if I would pick up a Spanish
Yeah,
chain.
that's true. But like Carrefour is supposedly a big, and like there wasn't one. There was one in Alicante, I think, but that's like a big, like almost like a Walmart for them, kind of. And so that was like, something that you just don't think of. We were going, especially, we were gonna go out shopping, like walk around one day, and like nothing was open. Like literally like there were signs, like the signs on the door literally say like they open too, first of all, at 10 a.m.
Yep.
And even like the gyms, like my mom was like, even if we wanted to go to the gym, like the local gym doesn't open until 10 a.m. So, which is like that's like the one place you would think would be open the earliest, but even that's still open at 10 a.m. And they open from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and then they close 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. and then they'll be open like 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. and then they'll like close or go home, like, or maybe stay up a little later, open a little later, depending on what kind of business it is. But that to me was like the craziest thing. And I guess like I don't know if maybe that changes in the summer when things do get a lot busier, but people like they call it the siesta. And of course some people are messaging too, like not everyone takes a nap. Like some people are like, it's people take lunch at that time. They have late lunches at 2. And then, they are socializing. Like there's no like takeaway and like takeout also like doesn't really exist over there. Like you can't even really get a coffee to go. And that's also like a European thing. Like I remember even in Italy, when I was over there studying abroad, it was like you also couldn't get like a coffee to go. Like you had to have, if you got an espresso, you had to drink it at the counter. Like there was no takeaway.
I love it. I think that it's a culture protecting people's sanity a little bit.
Right. Like how much chiller would we all be if we could just like take 2 hours in the afternoon for a little siesta, a little refresh.
And other cultures are like that too. Not that I've been to Japan, but there's
Yes.
stories of service in Japan where say that you order a tea in Japan and that tea is traditionally served with cream, but you don't like cream in your tea, you want honey, and you order honey, they ain't bringing you honey. They're going to protect you from themselves and serve it the way that's like intended.
Interesting.
Or when we were in Italy, some people might think, oh, pizza, right?
Yeah.
Where we were in northern Italy, they don't do pizza there. You go to Napoli for pizza, and that's what they told you. I love it when a place. Oh, is it off?
No.
Too close?
Yeah. No, it's just people can't see your lovely face.
I do love it when a place is protective of what they do, but also wants you to experience it that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why haven't we talked about Iberian ham yet?
Oh, well, that was, favorite. Obviously, like favorites, like kind of like an obvious. The food was amazing. Iberian ham, like the views, all the views we had, the mountains, the ocean, stunning, stunning, stunning. Like those were kind of like the obvious. Iberian ham, if you haven't had or like heard of that, it's like specific ham to a region of Spain.
It has to be grown a certain way. 2 pigs per hectare.
Yeah.
And they have to be fed a
certain
pig diet,
Yeah.
not force fed.
Yep.
And they also have a certain percentage of it has to be acorns.
Yes.
Of all things.
Yeah. So it obviously very has to be like cruelty free. Like it's very free range, like farm raised pigs. Like these are like the happiest, best taken care of pigs.
And delicious.
And fucking delicious.
It was amazing.
There's a lot of ham. Ham pretty much like dominates for the meat in Spain.
It's not your deli ham.
But it's not your deli ham.
This is upper level charcuterie quality.
Yes.
This is the real deal.
Yes, like the best ham ever. So food, so good. Lots of seafood, obviously, too, being on the coast. We had paella, we had some amazing fish.
Octopus.
James was loving the octopus. Not a big octopus fan for me, but lots of good seafood. What else?
The aioli.
Oh my God. So I had never heard of this, but you know, bread normally is, a thing that a lot of different, places, no matter where you are, you're going to get bread. But in Spain, they give you bread with, like, normally it's like homemade fresh aioli. It's like a
Ton,
garlic aioli,
super ton of garlic. Love it.
so garlicky. And then another thing of like crushed tomatoes. And technically, you're supposed to put like a layer of this aioli with like tomatoes, with the crushed tomatoes on top. Oh my fucking god! You would not even think,
It's those tomatoes are so
you would
fresh
be like
too.
that. Like if someone told me like, yeah, I eat like basically mayo with tomatoes on bread, I'd be like, that sounds, actually, I do love mayo. But you'd be like, okay, but I'm telling you, even just the bread with the aioli, like I don't know what the hell. And I'm so upset because that was the one thing I was like, Mom, I need like a jar of this aioli. And we didn't, I'm gonna have to have her bring us some, or like ship us some. Best aioli, best mayo. That was something that was really nice. And also they really, like, it's a lot of animals, like, no matter where you go, obviously there's gonna be some sort of wild, the feral animals, the cats, whenever.
The feral kitties.
And they take such good care. All of the animals were like so healthy. All the cats like looked like they were taken care of
Very well.
by,
And that they
yeah,
love their
the
dogs over there
locals.
too.
And everyone like had a dog, and everyone had literally a pru. There were so many chihuahuas and so many dachshunds. I was like, this is the land of prus, people.
Brew
Yeah.
booze.
So we got to find a way to get Prue over there. So now, just like talking about the least favorite things. Number one, speaking of service, and I think this is also just for like Europe in general, waiters and like service staff aren't paid by tips. Or like if they get a tip, it's like, you're given like a couple euros. Like they're all paid on salary. So when you go out to dinner, which is at like 8 p.m. at night. By the way, dinner doesn't open until like 8 o'clock at night, which is like, if you're going to like a dinner restaurant, they don't even open till 8 p.m. And dinner is like a 3 hour thing. You have to beg for your check at the end. Like you literally have to, it's like you have to beg them to like leave the restaurant. You're like, can I please leave this
You
restaurant?
just got to get quick with the card. You just got to flash the card.
Yeah, like hold your card and like do a dance.
They'll
It's
come over.
wild. But like, yeah, it's not like the service is like A plus. Like even we went to like some nice restaurants, and like even just getting water. And again, like if you've been to Europe, they don't serve you tap water, even though the tap water is fine. You still have to pay for like for a glass water, or like, bottled water.
It's delicious mineral water though.
Mineral water, but it's like €5. Like you always are gonna have to pay for water. And again, you have to like ask multiple times. Like no one's like, can I start you off with water? Which is like such a thing in an American restaurant. No one ever, they don't ask that. They're just like, okay, what can I get you? I also, everything's just slow, like just slow as molasses. Like even like, trying to get, my mom was like trying to like get some upgrades in like her bathroom, because also showers in Spain, like James could barely fit into the shower. And there's no such thing as dryers. Or like you have to be like really luxurious and rich to have a dryer. Like people only have washing machines, and then you hang your stuff to dry. But like my mom was trying to get some work done, and it takes weeks for people to like come over. It's just, everything is just like, yeah, we'll get to it. Yeah, we'll come over eventually. So that, it's just, but it's also, it's just relaxed. They're just like, whatever.
I kind of, and I'm sure that's difficult for people. It'd be tough to adjust to for sure. I
Yeah.
like it. Cheers
Yeah.
to them.
Yeah, they're living their best life over there. And then I also had obviously they do have nude beaches over there. But even if it's not a nude beach, people tits out, ass out, balls out. We went to the beach at like 9 a.m. one morning, and not a nude beach, public beach. And this man must have been 75, walking around, flaccid wiener, wrinkled raisins, just
Living his best life.
just
No tan lines.
Oh my god, it was jarring. Like, there's nothing like seeing an old man's flaccid wiener first thing in the morning. It's really it'll wake you up.
I was snorkeling at the time. I
Yeah.
missed a lot of that. Or getting a
Um,
beer, one of the two things.
yeah, literally. But it was, that's another but they're like, whatever. People are very body positive, but like naturally over there. Like people just wear what they want. Their tits are out at the beach, their assholes are out, their buttholes sunning, and they don't care. Who cares? They don't care. And it's not like illegal. Like I feel like if you're just walking ass naked down a beach in
What
Connecticut,
I wonder if you were walking ass naked down the streets of a town if
right,
they'd
if that's
say
probably
anything.
looked down upon.
Or only on the beach. I think it's only the beach.
Yeah. It must be. There must be like some sort of rule because I just feel like yeah, where does the beach stop though? Like if he's like up at the
Exactly.
sand, he's like in the parking lot, wiener out. I don't know. It was that's some wild shit. But again, I mean, I guess live your life, but like it would be kind of weird if there's just dongs everywhere and you're like with your kids and you're like, okay, sweetie, don't look over there. There's a dong or
Try to explain.
yeah, I don't know. But a lot of people are like, would you ever move there? I like my Uber Eats. I like my GoPuff. I like my Diet Coke. I like
There's a lot of Diet Coke
Doritos.
over there.
It was Coke Zero.
Oh,
There's a
true.
difference.
No, it was
Which is
Coke
so
Zero.
funny. They love Coke Zero over there.
It was all. I never
No
even
Diet
noticed.
Coke.
I didn't even really think of it till now. But you're
Yeah.
right. Everything you did get was Coke Zero.
Yeah. And just like, certain things like I don't know. There's the American, ways, Wi-Fi, my service wasn't that great. I die without my internet and my phone connection.
Did you happen to notice another big feature that I took notes on?
What?
The quality of the production of the safety video on the airplane. Did you not watch
Wow,
that?
it was a production.
It was. So I
Movie
am
quality.
all about, I'm not sure the proper term these days, flight attendants.
Yeah.
I love what they do and put on, right? I never
Okay.
want to stop with the hand signals and showing me how to put a seatbelt on. That needs to live on airplanes forever.
Yeah.
However, the production value of the safety video that they put on a Spanish plane, like they had Olympic athletes from Spain on this thing. Like,
yeah, they put a lot of money
there
into
was a
it.
lot of time, energy, and effort put in.
Yeah.
And
it was like a 10-minute
there
long.
was time. There were like time changes. Like all of a sudden, the guy's on a boat and he's showing you how to blow up the life vest on a boat. I was inundated with this thing the whole time. Like that is an entertaining video. And you want me to watch through the whole safety video? They had me.
Yeah.
Both times.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing.
They
I was
did a
like,
great
I'm
job.
into safety.
Yep.
All of a sudden, I'm interested.
All of it was super. And I'm like, what are they doing next? They had like 3 stars. They had a Michelin star chef on their video.
Damn.
Yeah. They had a guy that was a street, like a well-known, apparently I had to look him up. He's a worldly like street painter. So he does a lot of like graffiti art and he gets paid tons of money to do this. He's in the video.
Wow.
And they had an Olympic gold medal gymnast doing it too. Like,
I'm always like way too fucked up at that point to know what's going on.
They-
I'm like 7 gummies in and the Xanax deep when that's on. And I'm like, what?
No, I was impressed. I'm like, wow, they really want you to watch your safety video.
Wow.
Did it even make sense to the actual safety? No.
Yeah, what'd you take away? What's the safest thing you
I
can do?
I was just
You just know
I
there's a
paid
Michelin
full
star.
attention. No, I don't know if I increased my
Maybe
ability.
the value, was too high. Maybe it was too much.
I don't know if I would be able to act more safely in a emergency situation because of the video, but I watched the whole thing.
And it was Iberia Airlines too. If you're like, what airline was it? Iberia. And I had never heard of Iberia, but Iberia Airlines, slay.
Loved them. Oh, they were great. Great legroom.
Great legroom. Yeah. Actually, it was obviously, we were in the back with the peasants and it was lovely. It was a lovely peasant flight. What else? I was trying to think if there's anything else that I missed. Anything else about Spain, James? Oh, my mom made us walk literally everywhere, even though we didn't go to the gym. My mom is one of those almond moms that parks purposely like 2 miles away as far as possible, so we have to walk there.
Loved it.
James loved it. My calves, I had shin splints from day one. But yeah, so my mom's loving it. We will go back. There's so much to do over there. Highly recommend. If you're gonna go, definitely go to Altea. It's such a gorgeous little town. It's like you feel like you're in Greece, you feel like you're in France, you feel like you're in Italy. It's like there's so many different people from, there's like no Americans, I felt like.
Where was the town with the crazy Brits? What was the name of that one?
Benidorm.
Go to Benidorm. If you want a little more party
wild.
scene,
Yeah.
go to Benidorm. It's a little closer to the airport.
Yeah.
And you'll run into some crazy ass Brits that are hilarious.
Crazy ass Brits. It's like the Jersey Shore.
Is it
for
bad
British
to call
people.
if there's somebody listening from Britain? Is it okay to call you Brits? Can we do that?
I think so.
I think that's right.
It's not like,
but they were hilarious. I loved them. I thought they were funny.
Oh my god! Well, and especially we were there on Coronation Day, so they were getting after it. And yeah, there's like this whole British side of this town, and it is like all British people. Like Spanish people literally don't go over there because they're like, I think they're scared.
The Brits have invaded.
But yeah, they've invaded. Just Brits doing more invasions.
It was great.
Doing what they do best.
Hilarious.
Invading the Spanish. Yeah, so it was an amazing trip. Definitely gotta check it out. And apparently too, like if you're going to Ibiza, there's the ferry that leaves from Alicante to Ibiza. And we were gonna, that was like on my wish list, but obviously it was too much. We were like every day I felt like we were going to different little towns nearby. And it's like a 2-hour ferry, and it would have been a lot, but next time it gives us something to do when we're back. And there's so much else to explore. Obviously you can take the train and like go around. It's pretty cheap, even just to like fly, to nearby places, but we'll be back. Hasta luego. Right? See you later. All right, James. James. Is that what your Spanish name is?
Jaime. They said
Jaime. James kept introducing himself as Jaime. And like, I don't know. I think it's just your accent that people like Spanish people are like, what? You're like, Jaime.
My Spanish accent was perfect.
No, it's literally stunning.
No, it wasn't.
All right, so I think it's time to get into some weird secrets. We got
secrets time. I'm excited because I have not heard any of these yet.
Yeah,
usual.
There was a time when like I kind of like take some chances, and if it was really weird, I just edit it out. But now, we're getting some good ones.
Thank you for all the calls.
Yeah,
everyone who is calling in. Plenty need. We're okay with. There's some good drunken dials on there. I heard.
Yeah, there's some.
I like those.
We talked about those last week.
Keep them coming in.
Some of them are so. I just don't even know what you're saying. Like it's. So just try to speak clearly. And again, if you haven't like heard yours being played, it's probably because either one, you just were not speaking clear enough, or if it's just like too long, if it's 4 parts, it's like kind of,
we should make some rules for a drinking game for these people.
Oh, I don't, that's tough. Like for the people listening, people are probably like driving.
All right. Like if I talk about sports, you take a shot,
which is going to be never. So perfect.
If Sam sings anything, you have to take a shot.
Yeah.
And if we talk about animals, you have to take a shot.
Yeah.
Those rules. Those are your rules for this week.
Yeah. And if you want to send us in a voicemail, you can send it to
Speak Pipe.
That's speak. That was extra loud today. Speakpipe.com/weird and proud pod. That's all. That's all one. It is all one word. Speak SPEAKPIPE.com/weird and proud pod. All one word. And I'll put it in the description, in the link in the description. Can't speak English. so that you can just click on it too to make it easy for you. And you just literally click record, send it in. Always anonymous unless, you say your name or whatever. But um we love you guys. We crack the F up and they're so amazing. They're so unhinged. Keep them coming. Anything weird you got, send it over. All right, James, are you ready for our first voicemail?
So excited.
All right, here we go.
Hi Sam, hi James. This is Tori. Me and my girlfriend listen to y'all all the time. Big fans. And tell you a quick story about DoorDash. So moved to the Tampa area 3 years ago and need to make some extra cash. So I decided to do DoorDash to learn the area and get cash at the same time. I thought it was a genius idea. I remember one particular order had to go to Outback to pick up an order and go all the way to Lutz. It's a little town called Lutz. And I pulled into what appears to be an apartment complex. I couldn't tell. It was dark. The street light wasn't on, anything like that, so I really couldn't tell. So let the security guard know, hey, I'm DoorDash. Let me in. Found the apartment. Knocked on the door. Why is it when this person opened this door, it was a elderly lady, probably in her 80s, butt naked, titties down to her knees, like to the point that you can play double dutch with them things. The next morning, I drove by there when it's bright. There is a nudist colony that I deliver food to. Oh my god, I did not know that this city has a nudist colony. So there's that, and my eyes are still scarred to this very day. Anyways, love you guys.
The
What?
way the damn titties doing double dutch sent me into another dimension.
He's a very talented storyteller.
I'm obsessed with you, Tori. I think you said your name, so it's guy. I love you so much. I hope. Did he say Texas? Texas, right?
Tampa.
Oh,
we were
Florida.
just close-ish to there.
I was gonna say, I'm like, oh my god, we gotta go. We gotta go to the nudist colony. I forgot that nudist colonies exist.
We just talked about them on the beaches.
Yeah, but
I'm kidding.
That's different. Like, there are real places where people are just nude 24/7, and that is like legal. Like, so yeah, so maybe Spain, like all of Spain, is just a nudist colony, one large
on
nudist
the
colony
beaches.
on the beaches. But the way the titties, damn titties, doing double dutch, literally slayed me. I love you. And that is hilarious. I love that she was just brave enough to just be like, I'm opening the door.
Oh yeah.
That is one thing. Anytime we have someone deliver food, I'm like, James, you go get it. Or I just like put in the script, I'm like, please just leave on the steps. Like, I can't make eye contact with you in this state. Because a lot of the times it's like I'm being like a feral rabbit animal. Like when food gets delivered, I'm like gremlin, and I cannot look you in the eye. And good for her. She was like, you know what? Here I am. Here I am. Drink.
Take a shot.
Amazing. Tori, that was absolutely phenomenal.
That was
sorry.
Great plan. Being in a new community. I'm going to do DoorDash. I'm going to learn more about it. Well executed.
I love
well
a
thought out plan.
I love a DoorDasher.
Love a plan like that. That's great.
Love a plan. Love a DoorDasher.
And how much more did he learn? How many people do you think know that nudist colony exists? No, Tori does.
No. You're literally doing the Lord's work. Would you ever go to a nudist colony? Like, would you ever just like go to one and be nude?
No.
Okay.
I mean, are we planning a vacation I don't know about?
We're going back to Spain. Would you ever, like, if we went to a nude beach, would you go nude ever?
We were one in San Francisco.
What?
Didn't we go to a nude beach in San Francisco?
In San Francisco?
Didn't we go to one in San Francisco?
Where? What? Who did you go to? When?
We went to San Francisco you were out there with Myriad.
Okay.
And we went to a beach, and I think it was a nude beach outside of San Francisco.
I don't think so.
Are you sure?
Yikes.
I've never been to San Francisco with anyone else. You're the only person.
Sure. When did you go to San Francisco?
You're the only person I've been to San Francisco with.
I don't remember that. Unless, I mean, it could have definitely happened and I just blacked it out.
I mean,
But I feel like I would have remembered. I always remember like a very jarring flaccid wiener. And I feel like there had probably been a flaccid wiener. And flaccid wieners will stick with you. I don't. San Francisco. Is there even nude beaches in the US? I don't think so. Unless you're in a nudist colony. Because like people are so like, like, oh my God.
I'm going to have to fact check myself on this one, but I'm going with it. I'm sticking with it right now.
Is interesting.
It was a long time ago, but
I don't know, James. I don't know. Were we nude?
No.
Was this a dream?
Nope.
Are you sure?
Nope.
Was this a weird dream? Anyways, Tori, we love you so much. That was incredible.
That's a great story.
And I would love, like, I'm sure there are also some other, like if you've worked for Uber or something, like I'm sure there's some weird stories, like some weird ass passengers. I just have to, like, I'm sure you guys have had to come like into contact with some weird ass fucking people, and we want to hear about it.
Yeah, that. Good call.
Like if you're like driving, you're meeting a lot of people, you have like alone time with some of these people. I'm sure there's some weird ass shit. Tori, call back. I'm sure you got some other stories.
We need more Tori.
Yeah, we need more Tori. All right, James, are you ready for the next smile? Okay.
Red.
Hey, Sam and James. It's your girl Claire in Austin, born and raised, third generation from Austin. So, was listening to the last part of your last episode, and James mentioned looking at the Austin Aquarium Instagram. Don't go there. I hate to like be this downer, but like the person who runs it is actually not allowed legally to own any sea creatures because he treats them so poorly. And the business is under his wife's name. So very sketchy. Locals know, just like, don't go there, don't support it, because it's just like a little sad. They have cool animals and whatever, but they just don't treat them the best. So advice from a local Austinite is just don't support the Austin Aquarium. As exciting as it looks online, it is quite sad in person. Love you guys.
So I wanted to play that because obviously we were talking about that.
That was an important call.
That was important. That was more of a PSA. If you're in Austin, don't go support. Down with the Austin Aquarium. Down with you. This, like, that when it comes to like animal, like sad, like abuse, I like, literally cannot even like fathom and handle it. And like sometimes too, like, yeah, it is, like going to aquariums, they are like, sad. It's like you're in there in the penguins and you're like, oh no.
Oh, yeah, the Boston Aquarium.
I know. We love going to the Boston Aquarium, but it is like, but like a lot of them are, like even the one we went to in Connecticut, there's one in Mystic.
Yes.
And they were like, all the animals we have here are all rescued. They're only here because they wouldn't be alive in the wild. If we like release them, they would die. Or like, they're still like in rehab and they're going to be released eventually.
And just like her example, there's always good and bad, right?
There's always right. Do your research.
And I'm a very generally positive person, as you may know.
Yeah.
I always do see the good side, that I believe a lot of these institutions are there to help educate the public and help them maybe think about conservation a little bit more. And hopefully people do think a little bit more about how we treat the world, how we treat the environment, because the animals are affected. We're all going to be affected by it eventually. So,
yeah.
And now with the Austin one, that's a great example of not all of them are good, probably. Yeah. And if a whole community in Austin knows that this isn't so much on the up and up, I'm so glad she called. Thank you.
I know. And I thought, though, because we were talking about last time, I was like, that's, I meant to bring that up to say we're not going to the Austin Aquarium. But you know where you should go in Austin is to my show. It's going to be kind of like a dolphin experience. It's gonna be kind of like watching dolphins,
Do you do
except
dolphin
prettier.
impersonations?
Yeah, except funnier.
Can you do a dolphin impersonation? Now, English person. No, an English person.
I thought you wanted like an English dolphin.
Your impression game is still on point.
What?
People from Austin, here's
Yeah.
something we do need.
Oh,
This is
okay.
second most important thing besides going to her show and getting to meet you.
Uh-oh.
Where do we go get brisket and or meat places?
People have already
I
sent
need
me some.
those.
People have already sent me some. I forget there's one that's like everyone goes to, and like if you're from Austin, like you're screaming it. I have it on the list. It's on
And
the list.
I prefer not a restaurant. I want a pit
Back, yeah,
in
like,
the middle
yeah,
of nowhere.
yeah.
If is it you call it barbecue? I believe you do in Texas. Call it barbecue. But I want a barbecue pit or a pit master run
We're gonna
place.
find that for you, James.
Thank God.
Don't you worry.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, don't sweat it out. But we're not going to the Boston Aquarium. But I mean the Austin Aquarium. But yeah, make sure you come to the show if you're in the Austin area. June 4th, coming right up. I can't believe it's almost June, which is wild. And we're heading to Maine this weekend too. Couple ticks left for the late show. I know it's a Sunday night. I know, but you know what? YOLO. You only live once, and just call out the next day. Fuck it.
Nobody works on Monday mornings anymore.
Well, and yeah, like most people like are working remote, you know? Like just move your mouse a little bit. You can set it on like the mouse mover for a couple hours in the morning. Anyways, thank you so much for that PSA. Very important. You know we're big animal people, and I feel like everyone needs to know that. Okay, are you ready for this next unhinged voicemail?
Ready.
Okay.
I just had the worst day of my life. I'm dog sitting. I'm hungover. I'm at this dog's house. I poop my pants. Okay, and then I go and make it to the bathroom. Finally, I go to put my undies in the sink and rinse them out. Well, guess what? I clogged the sink with my little poopy water. And then guess what? The dog comes and starts playing in it. So there's poop in the sink, poop on the dog, poop in my pants. There's poop everywhere except for in the toilet, except for where it's supposed to be. And I'm just praying to God this guy doesn't have cameras. Because, oh man, it was a bad day.
There's poop everywhere. There's poop on the floor. There's poop in the fan. You know what? Sometimes you're gonna shit your pants and poop's gonna go everywhere. James, have you ever had a situation where you pooped when you shouldn't have?
Like a shark?
Yeah.
Trying to think of one.
Or like, have you ever clogged a toilet and then like had to get rid of and like had to do something about it?
I definitely have done that.
Yeah.
I can't, but for some reason I can't think of a specific situation.
When I was working in an ice cream shop, this little ice cream shop in high school, I took a big old dumper and clogged
that
the
baby
toilet,
up.
clogged her up. And it was like my third day on the job, maybe even like my second. Like it was like I was brand new at this job. And I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? Scooped it out with what I thought was a good idea was toilet paper, which obviously like if it gets wet, it's not going to work out. And I was like, where do I put it? There was no window. So I put it in the trash can.
You put poopy toilet paper in the trash can?
With poop. With the whole log. Threw it in the trash can. And the whole...
Innovative.
It was very innovative. But then like literally within like 20 minutes, everyone was like, what the fuck is that smell? It smells like something died inside someone's asshole. And I was like, that's so crazy. Someone must have had too much ice cream.
You're so classy.
Yeah. And that like haunts me. You know, it's stuff like that really it'll bring you to your knees, really. And it'll make you sweat. You know, those are some of the most stressful situations when I've clogged the toilet in a bad situation. When you have to shit like in the woods or shit in your car.
I don't mind those.
You don't mind shitting in your car?
The woods.
Oh, well, the woods, yeah. But like, it's like, again, like, when am I gonna wipe? Like, I miss my bidet. But yeah, shitting in the car, that's got to be one of the worst when you're in traffic and you gotta
Oh yeah, that'd
drop
be
the kids
awful.
off. But I'm so sorry that you had such an experience with your poopies. I would bet he doesn't have a camera, especially if you're in the bathroom. And you know what? It makes you a bigger person. It grows you. I feel like we were just like watching Queer Eye, so I feel like I'm in my inspirational era where it's
True.
like, you know what? You're a better person today than you were before you shit everywhere. And you shit on the floor, on the ceiling, everywhere poop shouldn't be. It'll really make you grow. So it's something to think about, guys. Something to really think about. But thank you so much. I was cackling. And don't sweat it. We're all shitting in weird places and shitting everywhere.
So those of you coming to the shows in Maine and or Austin,
yeah.
don't forget, we do a live version of Secrets.
Right.
So make sure you come to the show, and James will be
Right.
coming around beforehand,
Mhm.
and I need some help, and we're going to have you fill out one of your secrets and come on stage and share it.
Yes. Yeah, and a lot of people too were like, is there a meet and greet? I always hang out after the show, especially like if venues are like cool and like, or if we're not, like, we'll go to a bar nearby and we'll definitely see as many people. So there's a meet and greet and
We do
it's
hugs.
outside or after the show. We're chilling. We're out there chilling. So yeah, we can't wait to meet you guys. That's like the best part for me, like being able to meet people in person, especially like when you come up and you're like, oh my God, like we've DM'd and like I go back, like I really like a lot of the times will remember like a DM, especially if it was something that was like a meaningful like question or comment on something. I'm like, oh my God, I totally know, I remember. Oh my God. Even if not, I do not that I mean I try to respond to everyone, but also something that I was gonna like type up as like a podcast episode was like someone had messaged me yesterday and was like, what do you do for work? And I was like, oh, that's an interesting question. I'm like, you mean like how do I make money? So like I feel like I was always really, really curious about like what influencers, which I just like hate that word, creators, how people like really do make money. If you ever, where I know that's like not, it's kind of a random topic, but like I feel like I could do like a little like, kind of info session on like how it does work, because there are so many things that I never fucking knew and had no idea what the hell I was doing. And like I finally like feel like I'm learning 2 years later after like doing this full time. So let me know, like put it in the comments. Are you like, yeah, girl, like how the fuck do you make money? What do you do? But I also feel like there is like that's like a bit of like the mystique of like following people online is like, yeah, what the fuck do they do? Like I feel like if I really like went into too much detail, people would be like, that like ruins it, like
A
that's not fun.
magician never tells their truth.
Right. Like and it's funny, like now, like I watch a lot of influencers as if like, I'm like, how would I perceive this person if I was just like following them? And like this, I think it's because this creator kept getting people being like, what the fuck do you do? Like, because he's a food creator and people obviously assume like, oh, you just eat all day. Like, how the fuck do you make money? And then he started like documenting like everything he does in a day. Like, hey, I'm editing videos from 12 to 2. I'm on some phone calls with my agent from 3 to 4. And it's like, do you really want to know that? Like I was kind of like, I don't, but maybe because I already know that that's like what goes on behind the scenes. But, I feel like it does like lose the magic when you're like, oh, like I thought you were just like eating all day. Like that's kind of cool. I don't know.
Some people watch the extras. This is going to be a bad example because they don't put enough extras on Netflix anymore. Back in the day when there were DVDs, some people watched the behind the scenes, some people didn't.
Right. Because it's like, yeah, that's kind of like the magic of it is being like, what the fuck does she do all day? Like, do you really, like all the ins and outs? And then it's like, I don't want to know that. Now that's boring. I don't know. Just some thoughts, guys. Just thinking out loud. Drink. Take a shot.
You got somebody drunk today.
I
If they
hope
followed
so.
the
I hope
rules.
so. Also, I did have some drinks in Spain too. I meant to bring that up. I did. And I was feeling anxious. But I'm gonna take a little break again. Take a little, it's like I like drink. I do, especially in Spain. I feel like the wine is different, and we were mostly drinking like wine. Had to do like some sangria. I think one of the days we did do some. What are they? Caipirinhas,
Caipirinhas.
which are so fucking good if you haven't had a caipirinha, which is basically just like rum. It's like a rum.
I'm gonna say it wrong. I always do. It's cachaca.
Yeah, which is a
Brazilian,
rum, right? Yeah,
it's like rum.
it's kind of like
It's
rum.
not made the same way.
And it's literally basically rum and like a little bit of sugar.
Well,
and like that's it.
The difference is rather than being like pure sugar,
Yeah,
it's sugar cane. So it's like actually the plant, and that's what they use to break it down versus using like a sugar or a syrup or something that rum.
Yeah,
Rum does
like
use different varieties
cane.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's delicious. We had, and it's just like one of those things where it just makes me sleepy. And then the next morning I'm just like, I don't know, maybe I'm just a loser. But also I feel like too, like we weren't like going out, because not that we would like go out with my mom, but also that was the other thing too. Like if you ever wanted to like go like to a club, like we had met these guys who were restaurant owners.
They were great. They were nice.
Such nice guys. And they were like, we would love to like go out and get drinks with you guys. We're like, oh my God, amazing. And so they're like, we'll text you after dinner. And we like messaged them at like 9 p.m. And they're like, oh, we're just having dinner now.
It was like almost 10.
Yeah. And they were like, we're probably going to go out around like midnight, 12:30. And we're like, what?
And we're like, nope.
We're like, what? And like, that's like, people don't go out until literally midnight, 1 a.m. And on like a Wednesday. It was like I'm like, how do these people live? But then again, they don't wake up till, they don't go to work till 10 a.m. What a life. But anyways, some great secrets. We love you guys. You crack us up. You're all just weird, and it makes us feel at home. Makes us feel like
thanks for the call.
We're not as weird. Yeah, and if you want to call in and tell us your weird secret, you can go to speakpipe.com/weird and proud pod. Again, I'll put it in the description. Click on it. And we'd love to hear your weird story, especially if you're like, I feel like that would be a fun little thing. If you got some more, Tori, I'm looking at you, some more driver stories, any like weird DoorDash, anything like that. Let's hear it. Or anything weird. We're not picky. We're not choosy. We love you guys so much. Get your tickets to the show in Austin. Again, a couple left in Maine. SamanthaRamsdell.com/events for tickets. Coming to Canada too. They haven't given me the ticket link yet, but that's going to be in August. Yeah, lots of fun things. Lots of things coming up. We love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you next week.
Thank you, weirdos.
We love you, weirdos.